Okay, welcome. Happy Tuesday, guys. Upper body strength. It's nice to see a few more numbers. It was quiet last week. I know it's not the most pleasant one. So come to find a comfortable seat. Do you know what to do? Roll the shoulders. Sit nice and tall. So we're grounding down through the sit bones. Almost lifting through the waist, trying to get the crown of the head nice and high to the sky. There's real kind of length in the spine. Maybe just notice if you're leaning to one side or forwards, backwards. Try and find that nice central spot, that sweet spot. The shoulders are away from the ears, so just ease them down the back towards the waist. The arms are just kind of resting down beside you. There's a little softness to the elbows. Relax the jaw. Soften the skin around the eyes. Relax the cheeks. And any other places that might be holding a little bit of tension for you. Let's take a sighing breath. So wherever you are, gentle exhale. And then a big breath in through the nose. And then just sigh it out through the mouth. Good. We're going to do 2 more. Big breath in. And then let it go. Last one. Big breath in. And then sigh it all out. Good. So just notice how you are this morning. Especially after those sighing breaths, try to tap into that internal dialogue. Knowing that whatever you're feeling, experiencing right now, everything is valid. It's all part of your experience, yeah. And you're exactly where you need to be. You're doing your practice, you're starting your day with some mindful movement. A little bit of time just to be with ourselves. So just use that little check-in as a bit of context before you start to move this morning. Knowing that it's your practice, no one else's. So move in ways that feel good for you, take options you need. Most importantly, enjoy this half an hour. It's time that you've carved out, it's time for you. And as always, the most important part of our practice is our breath. That's what keeps us in the moment. That's what keeps us a bit more connected to our physical body. So if you haven't already, take a nice long exhale. Let's start to find our breath and then breathe in for a count of 1, 2, 3. Breathing out for 3, 2, 1. Deep, rich breaths in. Long, slow breaths out. As you inhale, belly rises. As you exhale, belly falls. And just keep going. Take a few more rounds on your own. Just observing how the breath is this morning. And then when you next feel ready, as you inhale, let's just reach the arms up above us. Take a little bit of movement from side to side. So leaning to the left, grabbing the right wrist. Leaning to the right, grabbing the left wrist. Good, and then float the fingertips down to the shoulders and just draw a few circles with your elbows. Bringing them forwards, up, back and down. And maybe kind of moving through the chest a little bit as well. So as you roll the shoulders, can you kind of spread the shoulder blades as you bring them forward? Can you lift and squeeze them as you take them back? So we're doing all the shoulder movement. Great. And then let's just leave the fingertips down onto the knees and just shrug the shoulders up and down. So it's almost like we're trying to tap our earlobes and then we're trying to bring them towards the waist. If you want to add a little bit more here, you can lift the arms above you. It makes it just a little bit more intense. We're just doing this for 30 seconds. Lifting up, dropping down, up, down. Inhale up, exhale down. Good, last 10. Shoulders are hopefully warming up now. 3, 2, good. On 1, float the fingertips out in front of you or lift them away from the knees and just start to rotate the shoulders. So although we're kind of swishing the fingertips, try and move from the upper arm and think about externally rotating. So drawing them out, broadening through the chest, and then internally rotating. So bringing them towards one another, and you'll feel a bit more of spreading across the upper back. Good, doesn't matter what it looks like, it's about just feeling it. So maybe close the eyes and just notice how these rotations feel. And again, we're just doing it for 30 seconds. Good, last 5, 4, 3, 2, nice, on 1. Give the arms a little shake. Let's find our way to tabletop. So roll forward, all fours. Spread the fingers. Let's get into the wrists a little bit now. So just leaning forward so the shoulders creep over the fingertips. If any of these wrist movements are too much, you can just come back to kneeling and do your own ones where you kind of open the hands forward and backwards, because when we're putting a bit of weight into the wrists, it's obviously a little bit more intense. So by all means, if you want to just ease back and do your wrists from kneeling, you can. But if you're feeling all right, lean forward. Keep the base of the palm plugged into the earth. Good, and then come back to center. Turn the fingertips out to the side now, so they're facing the long edge of the mat. Same thing, little lean from side to side. Go slowly, go gently. You don't need to go deeply into these, just work within your range. And then let's continue that rotation. So now the fingertips are pointing to the knees. So you'll need to lean back for this one, or it might just be okay to stay neutral. If it's too much, just lean forward. Good. Really try to keep the fingers super spread apart, yeah? And keep pressing down through every finger, every little knuckle and mini knuckle and fingertips. Great. And then release. Maybe give them a little rotate as you release. If you want, this one's quite intense, so you might want to do this one at a time. You're going to flip one palm to face the sky, yeah? So fingertips point towards the knee, but we're flipping it over. You can, of course, do both together. It's very intense to do both together, so I suggest you spend just about 15 seconds on each one, so flipping one at a time. So switching that out if you haven't already. Good, and then we will all come back onto our heels, clasp the hands together and just draw a figure of 8 with the knuckles. Great. Last one, let's just open and close the fingers. You can reach them forward in front of you or up above the head, I don't mind. Up above the head is a little bit more intense. And you're just opening and closing the hands as quick as you can. Keep going, relax the shoulders down the back if you've reached the arms up. Like you're flicking water off the fingers, open and close with meaning, yeah? Do it like you mean it. Last 10. Keep going. 9, 8, 7, I know, 6. Still doing it. 5, can you go quicker? 4, 3, 2, and 1, release. Well done. Good, okay. Arms are hopefully awake, shoulders are a little bit more warm. So from here, actually, before we lift into downward dog, just give me a few shoulder or scapular presses. So remember, they're those ones where we allow the chest to drop down and then we make the shoulder blades disappear by hollowing out the chest. So just like we did those shoulder movements kind of forwards and backwards when we were rotating, yeah, so like elbows forward, elbows backwards, we're now just putting a little bit of weight into it, yeah? So we're letting the chest collapse and then we're pushing the floor away. So again, just do a few of those. Scapular presses. We'll go a little bit deeper into these through the practice. Last 3, last 2. Good, on 1, push the floor away, so stay protracted in the shoulders, spread the shoulder blades apart, push through the hands, tuck all 10 toes, hover the knees for 10, 9, 8, push through the hands, 7, 6, lengthen through the tailbone, 5, draw the navel in, 4, keep pushing the floor away, 3, 2, good, on 1, downward facing dog. So lift the hips and send them high to the sky. Good, okay, just walk out to your downward dog. Do what feels nice, maybe swing the arms backwards and forwards. Remember, with your downward dog, we're trying to create like an upside down V shape, yeah? Doesn't matter if the knees are soft. It's about the length in the spine. How's the breath? Good. When you feel ready, journey to the top of the mat. Let's hang and dangle here. So really allow the belly to be resting on the thighs. Doesn't matter how much that means you need to bend the knees. It's not about trying to get to the floor and the toes with our forward fold. It's about extending the knees and lifting the hips over time. Good. Let's roll up. So when you feel ready, just start to stack your vertebra one at a time until we come to stand. Ah, nice. Just notice how you feel standing. Give yourself a shoulder roll, nice and tall. Maybe a little full body stretch, and then when you're ready, we're good to go. Let's take 10 rounds of sun salutations. Some little exercises in between. Remember, they're all optional. I'll give you as many options as I can, okay? On your next inhale, let's reach the arms all the way up. As you exhale, let's take a full forward fold. Good, inhale, lengthen, flatten out the back, draw in the navel. Exhale, big step back to our plank. Okay, knees first, yeah? And then belly to the floor, send the elbows back. Inhale, little lift of the chest. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale, tuck the toes. Send the hips back and high, so a strong push up through a child's pose, and then you're back in your downward dog. So option one is just to stay here. Find some stillness, find your breath. Option two is to do some just really subtle shoulder movements. So it's almost like the shoulders are coming towards the ears and then you're drawing them down the back. I want you to start thinking about your placement, of your shoulders in downward facing dog. So if you're doing those little shoulder movements, it's just like when we were doing our shrugs when we were sitting, trying to get our shoulders to our ears and then towards our waist. No other movement is happening, yeah? Just trying to mobilize the shoulders in downward facing dog. And then can you think about, as well as shrugging now, externally and internally rotating, yeah? So when we did those little swishes with our hands. And the correct position, if there is such a statement in yoga, is your shoulders are externally rotated. So they're drawn away from the ears and down the back. So you might be able to get a sense of where that is for you. So the shrugs are up and down. The in and external rotation are kind of drawing the upper arms into the midline and then away from the midline. Oh, yeah, warmth through the shoulders. Leave it there. Let's look forward, walk, step or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and inhale, we rise. Okay, back to stillness. Inhale, arms up. Round two, exhale, fold. Good, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back. So we're holding our high plank in our second round. So we'll do it from here before we take our little vinyasa. So make sure you've taken a big step back. We're here for 30 seconds. Spread the shoulder blades apart. So it's easy to collapse here. I want you to make those shoulder blades disappear. Draw the navel in, push the floor away. If it's too much, just hover the knees very slightly. But if you can, strong high plank. You're halfway. You've got 15 more seconds. You can be high on the toes, the feet can be nice and close together, or you can kind of spread the weight a little bit, take everything a little bit wider. Last three, last two. Listen carefully on one, drop the knees, lift through the chest a little bit, send the elbows back, lower the belly to the floor. Inhale, little lift and squeeze of the shoulders. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that's our second round. So what we'll do is we'll just take one big breath in here. As you breathe out, look forward, walk, step. We'll see if you can do a little hop to the top of the mat. Take an inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold, and then inhale, rising up. Good. Exhale back to stillness. Round three. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall forward, fold. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back. So round three is pressing. So we're going to go from here. So we're adding on. So knees are going to come down. Look forward a little bit to the top edge of your mat. Push the floor away still. So we don't want to collapse here. We're still pushing the floor away. And then as you exhale, send the elbows back and then come back up. Now it doesn't matter how low you go. It doesn't matter how many you do. We're just doing 30 seconds. So you do as many as feels comfortable. I'd rather you do fewer and get the alignment right, where your elbows are going back, your upper arms are just skimming your rib cage, your tailbone is still nice and long, we're not kind of dropping into the hips, we're still lengthening through the spine. Last 5 seconds. Again, doesn't matter how many you do, just keep that form for 3, for 2, good. Come all the way down on 1 and then inhale, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, strong push back to downward facing dog. Big breath in, steady breath out. Look forward, walk, step or hop the feet, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and then inhale, we rise up. Great, okay, round 4. We're going to hold that chaturanga position. Inhale, arms up, with the knees down on this round. Exhale, fold. So building up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back to plank. So take an inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, lower the knees. So we're going to come down halfway if we can, just for 20 seconds. So exhale halfway and hold. If it's too much, try and come up a little bit, but if you can, try to get your elbows in line, roughly in line with your shoulders. Last 5, 4, keep the length in the spine. 3, 2, good, on 1, belly all the way to the floor, well done. Inhale, little lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. 1 breath in. As you breathe out, look forward, walk, step or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise. Nice, okay, how are we feeling? Round 5, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back. So, knees are going to come down again. This time, instead of those full presses, we're just going to do some scapular presses. So just like we did in all fours, where we dipped the chest and then lifted it up, we're doing this now either with the knees much further back for 30 seconds, or if you want another challenge, level it up, come and do it from high plank. So the shoulders are coming forwards and backwards. We've started, so don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on the time. If it's too much, you drop those knees. And we're doing the same thing. We're kind of letting the shoulder blades poke out, then we're making them disappear. Poking them out, making them disappear. Last 10 seconds. Maybe try just a couple from high plank if you can. For 3, for 2, good, on 1. Let's find downward facing dog. Well done. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. 1 breath in and 1 breath out. Look forward, walk, step or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise. Great, exhale back to stillness. Okay, we're into our dolphin section. Your favourite bit. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall forward, fold. So let's flow through a vinyasa now. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back. So option 1, you know what it is. You drop the knees and you bring the belly to the floor. Pull through and push back. Let's just go through option 2 now as well. So come back to your high plank. This time, if you want, chaturanga, which is halfway with the knees lifted. Elbows go back, gazes forward. And then you pull the rib cage through into a deeper back bend. And then you exhale to downward facing dog. Great, it's so much more intense when we slow it down, right? So first one is just a dolphin hover of the elbows. So we're not coming into the full posture, we're just hovering the elbows down and then we're lifting them back up. So try to hover as low as you can. Doesn't matter if it's a really tiny movement. Nothing else is moving. We're not moving the torso. We're just hovering the elbows and lifting them back up. We're doing 30 seconds again. You're nearly there. Keep hovering and lifting. Last 10. Hover down, lifting up. Notice the index finger knuckle is going to want to lift a little bit. Try not to do that. Keep pushing it down. Last 3. Last 2. Let's all do 1 more. Hover as low as you can. Lift your elbows back up. Well done. Look forward. Big step, walk or hop, halfway lift. Well done. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're rising up. And exhale, we're back to stillness. Okay, let's go. Inhale, what round are we on? Round 8. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back. Okay, so take your vinyasa. You know your options now. You're either coming down halfway, you're using your knees, or you're not. You're pulling through to up dog or your cobra. And then you're exhaling to downward facing dog. Okay, so this time we're bringing the elbows down and we're holding. So if you can, look forward, push through the hands. As you exhale, hover the elbows down until they reach the floor. If you find that a little bit hard, bring the knees down, set your forearms up in dolphin, spread the fingers, Then lift the knees and come from here. So the idea is we get our hips high. Same thing with downward dog. Doesn't matter if the knees are bent. You're pushing through your forearms. So you're trying to send the weight back. So we're not forward, yeah? Our weight is back. Holding here. 30 seconds in total. So we're halfway. Good. Now the shoulder position. Think about it. They're still drawn down the back and we've still got that little gentle external rotation. Last 5. Sometimes when we're upside down, it's hard to think about it. 4, 3, 2, good. On 1, maybe just drop the knees, take a little break, and then we'll meet back at the top of the mat when you feel ready. No rush. And if you want, you can roll up. Okay, good. Okay, that was round 7 actually. We've got 2 more rounds. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back. So again, flow through that vinyasa, yeah? Knees or chaturanga. Pull through as you inhale, push back as you exhale. Okay, so we're back to the dolphin. So same thing from downward dog, if you can, hover the elbows to get them to land. And I'm going to ask you to clasp the hands together this time. Or remember, you come from all fours, forearms, clasp the hands, and then lift up. So here, we're going to rock forwards and backwards. So it's almost like your nose is coming to your thumbs where they've crossed, and then you're sending the weight back. So this is strength and mobility together, this rocking forwards and backwards. So just go slowly. Again, it doesn't matter how many you do. We're halfway already. It's just about getting the movement, keeping the integrity of the strength of the shoulders. Good. Last 5. Good, well done guys. Release, maybe drop the knees down, take a little child's pose. And then from here, we're going to flow through our last round. And you have 2 options. You can either hold your chaturanga, or you can take another set of presses. So if you know your presses are hard and you're still struggling with them, take your set of presses. If you want a little bit of a challenge, you can do a press from a high plank, or you stick with your knees, yeah? So whenever you're ready, let's inhale, rise up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back. And we're going to go from here, yeah? So when you're ready, start pressing or hold your chaturanga. And remember, your chaturanga can have the knees down or the knees lifted. You've got 30 seconds of either one. You might want to do 15 seconds of each. I'll give you a halfway core. Last 15 is coming now. Stay with it, whether you're pressing, holding, or knees up, knees down. Last 5, you got this. 4, 3, 2, good. On 1, send the hips back, little child's pose. Okay, so I'm going to give you an option today to stay here, yeah? Or if headstand is in your practice, you can come into it now just for 10 breaths. If you want to practice your headstand, I'm going to go through a little practice, okay? Because all this upper body work is really good for us getting into headstand. So come to your forearms, just like you did in your dolphin, yeah? Clasp the hands together. I think we should try this for September challenge, maybe. And all I want you to do today is place the crown of the head on the floor and stay there. Now, when you're here, your shoulders are going to want to kind of hug the ears, yeah? They're going to want to collapse. So all I want you to do is push through the forearms and lift the head off the earth and get that strong position of the forearms. So it's actually a forearm stand. It's not really a headstand. The head doesn't really, kind of just rest slightly on the earth. So just stay here. You can lift and lower, or you can just hold.
And then obviously over time, what happens is we just send a bit more weight. So you might even be able to extend the legs and lift the knees and stay here. Don't worry about anything else today. If you're doing your headstand practice, you know where you're going, you're coming up, but only do that if you know what you're doing. We're going to hold here for 10, still lifting through the head for 9, push through the forearms for 8, 7, knees up, knees down, I don't mind, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, good, on 1, we'll all take a little child's pose. So headstand can feel like quite an achievement, and with the amount of practicing you guys are doing, it's not going to be the strength, it's going to be all about the technique. So if we want to get there, we'll get there. We're just going to take our time on Tuesdays for now, and then maybe we'll work it into our September. Great, guys, all done. So just let it go. Might just thread one arm under. So if you're threading the right arm, bring the right ear and cheek to the earth, look to the left. Nice stretch on the upper outer arm. And then switch. Left ear and cheek to the earth. Left fingers reach underneath. Good. When you're ready, rolling up, coming to kneel. Maybe give yourself a stretch and a little shoulder roll. Great. Well done, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, have a lovely Tuesday. I will see you all tomorrow, same time, hopefully. Hopefully is not the time, it's to see you. I will be here on time tomorrow on Wednesday. Have a good one, guys. And yeah, I'll see you then, hopefully. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Well done.
Thank you. Boy, that's super.
You're more than welcome. Well done, Jean. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Hatch.